Ladies, what is a dead giveaway that a man watches too much pee when he's in bed with you?
Right out of the gate, he spit on me to get me wet. Just straight up hawked a loogie and rubbed it in as soon as he had access. This was the start of foreplay and the end of the sex. It gets wet on its own if you don't gross me out first. Edit. Directly on me, like he got down and went ha ptoo. The thick, yellow back of the throat sinus drainage loogie.
Fingering like he's trying to manually rewind a VHS tape.
Sometimes I like to blow on it like a game cartridge. Edit, don't do this, you will die.
My personal best, the first time we had sex he immediately pulled out and came all over my face blinding me. Didn't ask. Guess I should've worn goggles if I'd known I was going for a swim.
Had a guy come in my eye by accident. We both made a ton of safety goggle-based jokes. He at least felt awful about it.
So what I'm getting from this thread is basically, you don't always have to F her hard. In fact, sometimes that's not right to do.
Sometimes you got to make some love. And F and give her some smooches too.
One of my friends had her vag tapped. Because the guy saw it in a pee, kinda like a drum, she definitely did not enjoy it.
Was she a sex symbol?
When they're trying to play with you but they start rubbing kinda randomly on the pee but they rub it like they're trying to get a really tough stain out. Guys, if you rub so hard it bruises, it really just hurts. Not enjoyable at all.
Greater than they start rubbing kinda randomly on the pee. I've had a guy rub the corner that my inner upper thigh and vag make, thinking it was my actual vag.
I read once where a woman said that a guy was effing her doggy, but was sort of coming in from the side and not sticking all of his DK in. She asked him why he was doing it that way and he said he didn't know, it's just how he'd seen it done. So, yeah, he was doing it that way in order to give the non-existent camera a clear view.
As a non-native English speaker, I had to read the first sentence twice.
Absolutely insisted that if I just tried anal, that I would like it. I didn't like it. Insisted that I hadn't tried it enough. I still didn't like it. Insisted that if I just kept doing it that I would grow to like it. I didn't. Insisted that because I was doing it with him, that meant I liked it. Nope, I was doing it for him, not because I liked it. Insisted that I was lying. Okay, since I didn't like it and I didn't want to be a liar, I stopped doing anal. His begging for it included whining, I thought you liked it. ETA, wow. Thank you for the awards, I didn't expect this much support.
This is somehow the grossest thing in this thread.
The worst part is I hear this from other guys too. Have you tried anal? Yeah, I tried it, I don't like it. Maybe if you tried it again, you'd like it? OMFG, then I have to tell them the whole above story.
They go to finger you and it feels like a competitive chicken stuffing contest.
But how am I supposed to show off my 6 years of competitive chicken stuffing training?
When every comment on this thread is giving you flashbacks to that one ex.
I am just reading these comments to make sure I am not that ex.
Expecting that I can have an orgasm just because he told me to. Taking a super long time to finish, or expecting oral for 45+ minutes. Bonus points if they think they can just whip the DK out in the middle of hanging out and you'll get down on your knees.
LMAO, I was naive and didn't realize I was just a person to have sex with to him, and assumed that a normal relationship involved sucking DK pretty much every time I saw him. One time he just pressed my face towards his DK and I thought maybe this isn't right lol.
Absolutely. I remember having that exact thought after we had a really serious talk where I was sobbing over how insecure I felt within our relationship, and how distant he was. And immediately after I stopped crying he grabbed my hand and put it on his crotch. I remember feeling so used all the time.
When you give him a blowjob and he asks if you came.
I laughed out loud at this.
You like this DK? Yeah?
It's aight.
When he's watching pee in bed with me and gets out his phone to watch his own pee.
I've already seen this one. No. Get this. I was giving a guy oral. And honestly I wasn't really into it and I guess he wasn't either cause he couldn't come and I just wanted to get it over with. This guy takes a video of me, and proceeds to watch it while I'm still doing what I'm doing, and that was what made him finish.
No, literally I've had the same thing happen to me. I was actually like WTF.
1. Unrealistic and uncomfortable positions. 2. Making it a reflection of his skills to make me orgasm multiple times. 3. Thinks that I secretly want and enjoy anal sex. Just no.
Expecting my orgasm on demand. Personal best is 5 minutes solo. I can't imagine a partner, unless you're into head games and want to do that fun, getting that without some serious foreplay and ramping up the smut.
As soon as a guy says, "Come for me," I'm like, well now I'm nervous pleading face, and can't get there.
Thinks that anal is something everyone does in straight sex, and frequently requests it or worse, tries to just shove it in there. They edit out the prep and weeks of asshole training, guys.
He shoves it in next thing he knows his cock is brown.
He needs to watch pee while in bed with you.
Greater than stay still, I want to balance this on your forehead.
Lack of foreplay.
This needs to be higher up. Also, foreplay is not squashing my boobs together for 10 seconds, then sticking your finger up my dry vag. The whole body can be touched. Let her touch your body too. It feels nice.
I told him that I couldn't squirt because my body simply doesn't do that. He then told me, I'm going to F_NGER you as hard as I can until you squirt, even if you tell me to stop. I don't care if it hurts, you're going to squirt. I never did squirt for those next 45 minutes, and it did very much hurt. What in the F?
1. Expecting the woman to squirt because women on pee squirt oodles of liquid. 2. Fantasizing about other women in bed because he can't get aroused by me.
Rubbing the clit like you're trying to start a fire. Asterisk, please slow down. Asterisk. Also, spit is not lube.
I just had a horrible flashback to a high school boyfriend. It was like he was trying to scrub a stain out.
Way too many men think anal can just happen and be tried out of the blue. If you aren't willing to take the time and care about someone's well-being, just go masturbate by yourself.
And they think it's totally okay to go back and forth between us and pee. No, go wash that DK. You're gonna give me another F in UTI.
Thinks their DK is God's gift on earth, like right when it enters you you're supposed to have some out-of-world experience. Asks why you aren't coming instead of just trying to ask you what you like. Jackhammer and wondering why you're actually in physical pain from your cervix being probed at an unreasonable pace.
And they're constantly saying, come on, as they pump away endlessly. Yes sir, I am definitely going to come if you keep yelling at me too.
The finger blasting. Stop it. Please go slow and gentle, give attention to my clit, don't just shove your fingers straight into my hole and drill like there's no tomorrow.
I've had someone finger me so aggressively, it was like he was looking for loose change in the couch cushion.
They try to do dirty talk but just end up sounding gross and ruining the mood, trying stuff they saw in AP and finding out the position isn't a good fit for you guys due to the size of you and them. Something that may look hit in the P you watched may be really awkward when you physically try it out. Slapping the vag is not fun, it does not feel good. They take it way too seriously. Me and my partner has laughing fits because of weird noises that can be heard because lots of moving. Sex is much more enjoyable when the person you are with is someone you can be yourself around and that you can joke around with. And I'll say it again, slapping the vag isn't that hot and it just sounds like you're slapping someone across the face with a fish. Stop it. Foreplay is important for both parties, not just you. You should also care about your partner getting off, not just you getting off.
Wait, is slapping the vag a thing in P? I thought it was a joke at first, but you are the third person to comment on it.
Getting straight into literally anything. No prep, no lube, no warning. Anal? Stick it right in. Penetration? Stick it right in. Fingers? Stick it right in, and try to use his whole hand. This was literally from the one time I experimented with a dude. For FS Sake, guys, asterisk, please communicate asterisk. Don't just do things because you want to without consideration and consent. A woman's body isn't a toy you can handle any which way you'd like. Most times we know how to get you what you like, and we know the limit of our own bodies. Also, getting us wet? Yeah, that's not a choice. Doesn't matter if it takes too long, or you prefer not to do it. And #X2OOB. Edit. Oh, and breasts aren't meant to be squeezed like rubber balls. Handle them gently unless asked otherwise, and please, for the love of God, don't slap them.
Cringy lines.
In a dirty voice recording one guy once sent to me, he tried to explain how he would tease me. He began with, "Well, first, I would remind you of your P-flaps." What the hell does that even mean? Like, is he going to just look down there with a magnifying glass or something, and then look up at me and say, "Yep, you have P-flaps"? Also, please do not use the word P-flaps.
Calls you by a P-star's name on accident, sad face.
What happened afterwards?
I called him, lil fella. Was totally worth it.
When they expect you to finish in 5 minutes or less. Like, we just started. Let me enjoy it. Relentless pounding. Surprisingly, some of us do not enjoy having our cervix pounded into our throats. Slow is good. If we want it fast, we'll ask.
I'm plagiarizing this from somewhere, but it's a quote that always pops into my head in these threads. Enthusiasm is appreciated, cervical bruising is not.
Most men don't realize very few women come from vagal penetration alone. The clitoris is the most effective, easiest, most enjoyable orgasm. Penetration plus P rubbing in a tight circle WA set pace is heavenly. Though I usually can make myself come if I'm on top cowgirl, so it's rubbing. Just please make an effort to gently touch, rub the clit at any time during sex and you're doing better. Also, touch boobs, nipples during sex too please. Rub your hands down the body, don't just F without touching them. And a man can moan a lil too, it's V hot. Edit. I'm glad there are people commenting that their partner in particular doesn't like this general advice. We love to see communicating partners. But to the men saying their girl can come with penetration alone, cool. But you still should try adding in the clit. It's a little bundle of nerves that extends into the vagal canal. It's the tip of an iceberg. That feels out of this world if stimulated honestly, even for 45 seconds at a time. Also, once you notice it, you'd be surprised how many men don't rub their hands all over the women in P, blocking the camera maybe. But the more skin contact you have, the more oxytocin will be released for both of ya.
Some men don't moan because they're concentrating on not nutting long.
Him treating me like a piece of origami paper.
OMG, I had an ex that had me lay on my back, then without warning tried to move my legs where he was trying to put my ankles to the back on my head, rolling on the floor laughing. I ended up getting a leg cramp and had to stand up to stop the cramp and lost interest, and he was upset cause I wasn't flexible like other women he knows.
Knee try to pound you in full speed from the start. Like hello, foreplay please? Also when they expect you to be extremely vocal like in P and use that baby voice. Yeah yes and make a crying face. If you are not doing this as a woman, something is off in the sex as per them.
That's actually a huge reason why I don't like mainstream P. I prefer the stuff that seems more natural, homemade, and even romantic, sensual. I hate when the guy pulls out to switch positions and asterisk she's still moaning, asterisk. Like WTF feels that good while just rolling from your knees onto your back, girl?
They expect you to squirt like a lawn sprinkler when they start fingering you like a jackhammer, no lube of course.
With fingernails.
1. He tries to bend me into really weird positions that may look cool, but aren't enjoyable for either of us. 2. He thinks he needs to jackhammer me really hard. 3. He thinks all women are size queens and therefore tries to shove 3 or even 4 fingers inside me. Ow, ow, ow. Don't ever just assume it's okay to do that.
The first guy the first slept with, I told him I had never penetrated during masturbation. This MF stuck 4 fingers inside me and jackhammered because he wanted me to not be tight since his DK is sensitive. Alas, I was a virgin, so I didn't understand if it was right or wrong, and I was told it would be painful.
Rubbing clit like you're trying to get a stain out of carpet.
Rubbing is an awful way of getting stains out of a carpet. Blotting is the preferred method.
He stuck his fingers straight in and I said, "You can't do that, you need to play with the bean first," and he said, "Well, I prefer it this way."
Him. You're supposed to suck not bite. Her. I prefer it this way.
Immediate choking.
Maybe he just tried to kill you.
That anal takes no prepping and every woman should be happy when she's surprised with it.
I knew someone like that. He once told us, a group of guys, that if a girl consents to sex then she is consenting to anal. We all basically shouted him down, saying that anal requires a whole new permission slip to go on that field trip.
He treats the clitoris like a doorbell and expects you to squirt a solid jet all the way across the room.
Everyone knows it is the devil's doorbell.
He literally asked me to make faces, like tongue out and eyes to the ceiling, and scream with a baby voice something about his cock. I found it a really humiliating request and refused.
You like that, you lemon stealing W?
I'll do you one better with a Reddit classic. You like that you effing, link.
When they do the waka waka on your clit like they're a DJ. That poo hurts and is an immediate turn-off. Edit. Holy moly, thank you all for the rewards. This got way more attention than I expected.
Okay, sorry, but I am laughing.
Slapping the vag.
Slap the bass.
When he asks if I'm going to come when he's doing some dumbass stupid poo he clearly saw in some pee. No, I'm not going to come when you ferociously rub my clit like you are sanding effing wood. No, I'm not going to come from excitement when you surprise anal me. No, I'm not going to come when you slam dunk a huge dildo into my holes. No, I'm not going to come when you violate the use of safety words and hard boundaries.
My God, just no.
He used to say the weirdest things to me. One of my girls later told me that it's pee talk.
I hope you didn't take it to heart, great big W.
Aggressively rubbing my clit. Friction burn is a thing down there and it is not fun. Edit. Thanks for the awards, y'all. Who would have thought my most liked comment would be about sex?
Aggressively rubbing it right away, then trying to shove themselves into you 3 seconds later and wondering why you're dry. Then getting angry that you say, stop.
When he stops to buffer.
Or when they keep wanting to skip to the next 15 seconds of sex.
He tells me he's gonna make me squirt. I am not a starter Pokemon.
Vulvasaur.
When he doesn't touch your clit without you asking him to. You know they barely see that clit touching move in pee.
As an individual who is new to this whole thing, this is fascinating. Edit. Okay, since it is Reddit procedure, I didn't expect all these upvotes and the award, thanks. To answer the question below, I am fairly new to Reddit, I have just begun dating and am quite familiar with the first one.
You're new to P, women in general, sex, or to Reddit.
As a virgin who has never so much as seen a naked woman outside of the internet, I am getting some very important pointers if that situation ever changes. Edit. The most important advice, communicate. Rip my inbox.
The simplest answer, use your words. Tell me how you like it, asterisk, and then listen and do what they ask you to do, asterisk. Do you like that? Is this good? Some other pointers. If it looks like it would be abuse or assault in any other settings, hitting, slapping, forcing them to gag, and especially choking, do not do that to your partner without their express consent, a safe word, and a plan for aftercare. Do not choke your partner. Wear a condom. Never, ever argue about wearing a condom. Very few things kill the mood like arguing with a dude that his 5 minutes of pleasure is more important than her not getting pregnant or getting an STI. Condom use isn't common in P. So definitely don't use P as a guideline there. In fact, if you don't already do this, go buy a bunch of different kinds of condoms and find what fits you and feels good. I suggest getting a sleeve like a fleshlight to get a feel for using a condom in a vag, because it will feel very different than in your hand. If you turn out to be one of the many men who can't get off with a condom on, no worries, you have a nice edit to add with a condom, and when you get close, pull out and finish with your hand, she gives you a hand bonus. You're much less likely to cause an unwanted pregnancy if you do this. It's way easier to communicate your needs with a partner if you know what they are, which goes back to use your words. Lube. Again, buy different types and find out what feels good. Never use oil-based lubes with latex or synthetic latex condoms. Wash your hands, trim your fingernails, wash your face. If you come into your hand, wash your hands with soap before putting them near your partner's vag, and regularly wash your junk with gentle soap. Dove body wash is good for this. If you're not circumcised, pull back your foreskin and wash your glands. Aside from a dirty body being a mood killer, you can give your partner a nasty ooty if you don't keep yourself clean. Finally, if your partner needs a vibrator to help her get off, go in with the mindset that anything worth doing is worth doing with power tools. If she's got a vibe, she's telling you some important information on how she likes to be fed, not saying you're inadequate. So use that power tool like it's the best invention on the planet. Good luck and happy banging when you get to it. Edit for clarity. If you're one of the people who can't get off while wearing a condom, you wear a condom while you FPIV style and then pull out, take condom off, use hands, go wash hands before getting close to vajayjay. The point I didn't communicate clearly here is that not being able to get off with a condom on is not an excuse or a reason to not wear one. If you are sticking it in a vag and you are not in a long-term committed relationship, wrap it up. Thank you to the people who pointed out the ambiguity. Edit number 2. Cis dudes, gay, bi or straight, you wrap it up for your protection as much as for trying to not knock up your partner. HIV is still out there. There are some nasty antibiotic-resistant strains of gonorrhea, syphilis is still a thing, and yes, men can get penile, anal, or throat cancer from HPV infection. Charlie Sheen and Magic Johnson both got HIV through straight PIV sex. Wrap it up, and get your HPV jab.
It's usually a mix of things. FS like a robot with little emotion or enthusiasm, eyes closed most of the whole time, barely gets hard, doesn't care if you cum, and probably doesn't cum himself.
This was my ex. He was devoid of emotion most of the time unless it was anger. I told him he F'd like a robot and I could be anyone or even just a hole in the couch.
He climbed out of bed during foreplay to watch pee because I took too long to get ready. Edit, I want to thank everyone who took their time to leave a comment or even an award. I didn't think this comment would blow up so much. By now I can laugh about what has happened and I'm fine if you do it too.
There's a Netflix docu called Sex and Love. The one about Japan has a woman talk about how her boyfriend straight up watches pee after he lubes her up for sex.
After reading the comments, I made a summary. 1. Ask your partner what, if they like it. 2. Use your senses to see if she likes it and if unsure, communicate with her. 3. No surprise anal, choking, hair pulling etc. if she doesn't like it. 4. Don't try poo from pee. Pee is acting and not real life. Most things they do in pee don't do anything for her. 5. Don't be rough, if she doesn't like it. 6. Don't tell her you're gonna make her squirt. 7. Don't watch too much pee because all the jacking off makes your DK numb and kills your libido, what results in you not getting hard and not coming without watching pee. Everything in moderation. 8. Don't watch pee while having sex with her. I feel like the last one should be obvious, but some guys actually do that, it seems. Edit. 9. Don't be a jackhammer but be gentle. 10. Don't expect her to deep throat for 20 minutes. She has to breath. Also 8. Refers specifically to him watching pee by himself while having sex with her. If you're both into it, go for it. Every point I made has the first and second point as an asterisk. To 7. Everything in moderation.
Basically treating the woman's body as a cum receptacle and jackhammering away at her. He's sexing as hard as he can. I'm not even saying it's a misogynist thing, the dude could just be nervous. But for the love of God, use your senses, pay attention to her, ask her what she likes, and start out slow. A little kindness, gentleness goes a long way, and women like it so much more than being impressed.
When he complains that my vajayjay doesn't look exactly like the P-star's vajayjays do. Well damn it, I'm not going to spend a couple grand to get the most perfect looking P in the world. You want a woman with a perfect P? Be a P-star.
What the F does a perfect P look like, anyway? All genitals are kinda silly looking. Are men going to start sculpting their DKS into crescent moon shapes or some poo for the aesthetic now? Number 1, butthurt and confused if I don't orgasm within 3 minutes of physical contact. Number 2, performs oral sex with the tip of his tongue in a flicking motion. That nonsense looks good on camera. It does not feel the slightest bit good. Number 3, major hang-ups about the size of his duck. Asterisk addendum, number 3 was originally intended to say, the size of his DK. Upon careful consideration, however, I have reached the conclusion that this is fine like it is. Good call, autocorrect, asterisk. P is entertainment, not a tutorial.
I am also concerned about the size of my duck tears of joy. Thank you for watching. We upload new videos every day. So be sure to come back for more fun. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed the video.